Hello everyone, my name is Hectic and welcome back to another GTA video. This is continuing the sort of series of properties that I don't think you should really buy that soon. Ones where my opinions have really changed on some of the businesses and how good they really are and all of this. I did this on the arcade. I did record one for the nightclub. However, I'm going to redo that one because it was kind of a mess. Not really with like explaining the info, but mainly the mess in the recording. There's too many places where I'd have to chop stuff up. Like I left in the middle of it and the ending wasn't that great. So, today we're talking about the auto shop. Yes, and I might still place the auto shop fairly low, but I still don't think that it's a business that you absolutely need, like, as one of the first ones that you get. Yes, so let's review a little bit of what the auto shop has to offer and what money-making methods does it provide. So first off, of course, in this series we're going to have to determine what's factoring in this with the price. Yes, auto shops. The one that I have is over here in La Mesa. They're going to cost you about 1.9 mil, 1.7, so a couple mil, or actually closer to about 2 mil is probably what you want with one of these. Then when you're renovating, these aren't too bad. The staff and other upgrades for this, we'll come back to those. Yes, ignore these for right now. Do buy the accommodation. Accommodation is pretty cheap. Like, I think it's $85,000. Although, because this is going to be a fun place that you want to spawn in, and especially if you're in La Mesa like me. It's centrally located. I have my auto shop and my arcade here, along with a bunch of my cargo warehouses and my vehicle warehouse are all up here in La Mesa. Yeah, so that's why I like it. So, auto shop right now, about 1.7 million for properties. That's not bad at all. Yep. So, fairly decent. But let's get into the money-making methods, and then we'll start off with Let's start off with these cars. Yes, these are what I'm going to call auto shop sale cars. You know, is what I'm going to call them. So, if I refer to that in another video. This is pretty simple. You service the car to the customer's liking, and then you deliver it. Yes, the auto shop comes with one car lift, which is how one of these will spawn in. And it's usually about a 50% chance every 48 minutes for one of these to spawn. And if you have two car lifts, which you'll have to buy the second car lift, it's still about 50% chance for each one. Yes, so when you deliver it, yes, you'll have to pay modification costs anywhere between about $20,000 and $50,000. Yes, whenever you deliver that, you get that back. Yes, but your payment is going to be anywhere between, I would say $10,000, but I don't think so. About $20,000 to the most that I've seen is normally is $30,000. Yes, maybe $35,000. It's going to be the most that you're going to get out of these, and that is if you deliver them. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Just make sure you don't crash into anything. It's like vehicle cargo. You crash into something, the value goes down. You don't get paid the full amount. Big bummer. And especially with these, that's not a lot going up only by like 30K. Yes, but do know you do get that, like, whatever amount that you got back from that. Yes, and the value that the payment that you receive is going to be lower than or equal to the amount that you spent for modifications. Yes, I know some people have complained about that and think, is that a glitch? No, that's just true. Yes, the other way that you can deliver these is by having your staff deliver them. Yes, if you deliver your staff, this is going to be basically passive income that way. But your staff is very likely to crash your vehicle. And we don't want that because then you lose money. You're basically, the most that I've seen getting returned whenever a staff delivers it, and if you're lucky, is probably $20,000. So if your payment, we're not even gonna call the modification cost. If your payment is, let's say, $20,000, the most that I've probably seen is 20,000 is on some of those. I might have seen a perfect. Actually, I think out of those, it's probably $15,000 is what I've seen if I've gotten lucky. Sometimes you'll get zero, and if it says like 50,000, that probably means you got zero. They banged it up the most, but I believe also if the staff delivers it, I don't think you get that modification cost back. I don't think you do. If you do, then they probably banged up the vehicle. That's the only thing you'll get back, is you'll just bang up the vehicle. So I probably wouldn't have the staff deliver it unless you absolutely just don't care about it and just want that passive income. Like if it's $20,000 for to service the vehicle plus $20,000 to deliver it, and you need to just do something right then and there after you service it, fine, let your staff do it. But to do it, as far as making money for these, is not really that much. Let's bring it back and talk about the car lift and the staff. Yes, an additional car lift, because it comes with one and you have to purchase the second one. The additional car lift is $625,000. Big yikes. And you know what you're getting in return is like only theoretically $80,000 back, but $30,000 back from each one of these sales at max. Yes, your additional staff member, actually each staff member, costs about, what is it, like $300,000? So, yeah, that's the money that you have to invest into this. Yep, for not that much return. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't buy the staff. I probably would buy a second car lift, but you can have these cars sitting here for infinity until you want to sell them. Which I'm going to say, so this is going to factor into why I don't think you should really get the auto shop as one of your first businesses. Actually, it should probably be one of your last ones. Probably one of the last ones that you should get. Whenever the auto shop, like a few weeks ago, was on double money, which included contracts and this, these were double money. Yes, and that was actually good. I would actually do these, and I wish Rockstar would just always put them on double money, because when they're not, you just don't get it. I got upwards to like $60,000 back every single time that I sold one of these, and it was really, really good. Yes, so if you want to hold on to them until one of those events comes out, which I don't know how often that will come through the rotation, you could do that. So that makes what the auto shop not really that worth it, especially with what money you have to put into it. Yep. Another thing with the auto shop is it's a 10-car garage, which is convenient to have in here. I mainly use these vehicles usually right here. I use my Infernus a lot. I also use my Vaca a lot. I use a lot of these vehicles a lot, and it's just convenient to have. Yes, it comes with the 10-car garage, so you don't have to purchase that, which is nice. So that's an up feature for you. Now let's talk about the next two things on how you'll make money from this and determine whether or not the auto shop is worth getting. This one is the auto shop contract board. Now these are, most people consider these like mini heists, and I do consider them like mini heists. Yes, you'll do a total of 2 setup missions and then a finale. Most of these, are probably all of them to some degree, can be done solo. Yes, some of them are going to be much, much harder to do solo. So the more people that you have when doing any of these, the better. Yes, I would probably recommend trying to do all of these with another player. It's just going to save time. The payouts, though, are quite interesting. You'll get paid about $170,000 upwards to the maximum, which the contract that pays the most is Union Depository with $300,000. Technically, it's $270,000 because of a $30,000 cut, which I think it kind of BS as far as that going. But these the setups aren't bad. Some of the finales take a little bit because you have to drive places all those ones. These really like to give you those like 4 or 5 mile drives to whichever. Some of them are annoying. None of them I would say are absolutely hard. The hardest ones you're probably going to do, that ones that I've experienced, I've done almost all of these, not all of them, but almost all of these, are going to be Union Depository. Isn't that difficult? When you're escaping, it is going to be pretty difficult. If you don't know the route that you have to take, and if you're not filled up on snacks, that's going to annoy you the first few times if you're going to do that. And even if you're skilled, I'm pretty sure it's still going to annoy you. But it's worth a lot. That was pretty good. The data contract, which is what the ones that was up here. The finale of that one, I would not recommend doing solo. There's just too many AI onto that. That one's going to be fairly difficult. And the ECU job, some people can do that solo. I cannot. I'd rather have somebody doing that. That one's going to be much easier even with duo. Yeah. So what am I getting here at? And as you can see, I completed 9 of these contracts for over $2 million, which isn't bad. I think the pay is not the greatest. I think Union Depository, if you're wanting these as payments, and unless you grind these, like really, really grind these, $170,000 is easily grindable with other things in less time than you can do the setups and the finale for both of these. Yes, and somebody's going to challenge that, but I also challenge that. All it takes for me, 1 payphone hit, headhunter, security contract, in that order, and that's, what is that, 85,000 plus about 40, that's 120 plus security contract. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt, $40,000, 160. So you've already gotten pretty much all of this money, minus not included the cut. You probably earn more money from doing those 3 things straight in a row, which will probably take you 10 to 15 minutes total to do all 3 of those in a row. Faster than you could probably do all of it. Now, the finales are going to take up the most, but some of them do take time. The Union Depository is a little bit different. I think when these were on double money, I started doing them, and I think these are another one that should always be double money. However, having Union Depository always be at 600K is a little bit powerful. Or when they should always be like paid that double money, and then when they're on double money, imagine the contract pays $1.2 million. That's a little bit overpowered. But I still think that some of these should probably be paid at least 200K. Make it competitive with that. So I know I'm sort of ranting here, and I'm trying to keep the length down, but do these jobs make the auto shop worth it? I would say in general, no. Yes, I think that there's better ways that you can quickly get these. I wouldn't say don't do these. Yes, most of them are actually pretty fun. I like doing them. Like the bank contract is super easy. That's basically like Fleeka job times 6 minus the hacking. Yeah, that you have to do. It's super easy. You just go to 6 banks. You rob those. And then you escape the cops and deliver them to the buyer. Yes, you can even do that solo. I've done them solo without dying before. It's actually fairly simple. Yes, and I think it's one of the easiest, if not the easiest one to do. But it's a fun experience, but quite honestly, when they're not double money, I just don't think that it's worth getting an auto shop just to do these. Maybe Union Depository if you're one of those that's going to constantly grind these. If you're not going to, you have other businesses that will gain you a lot more. Yes, this is what I think those are best for combining into a grind. Like you set them up one day, you do like all setups for certain things, and then you just do them. The last thing is going to be exotic exports. Yes, exotic exports I'm frustrated with. So after you do one of those jobs on there, you can unlock the exotic exports list, which basically are blue dots that can show up on the map like in free mode. You go to that location, you go sell those to the docks, and you get paid $20,000. However, there's certain spawn conditions and all of this involved with it. It's not usually not that easy to do. Yes, the most that I've gotten done is 3 in one day. You can get 10 done in one day for a bonus $200,000, I believe, but you can only do that one time. Aside from every other time, then you'll get paid $20,000. These are usually pretty frustrating because if you mess up the spawn conditions, they're probably not going to spawn. And if you don't have a friend to really do this, it's kind of annoying. And for $20,000, I usually do this as a task when I'm bored. It's going to be the thing. It's what I usually use this. As far as an actual money-making method, I would say stay away from that as much as possible. I'd rather do these on this. Excuse me one sec. But as far but as far as making money for that, I don't think that that's really good. I just wish they were either always double money or just easier to find than that. So that really kind of ruins it for me. So we have all of those factors in play. Yes, so now the conclusion is the auto shop really worth buying, and when should you really buy these? Auto shop really worth buying? In general, I would say no. Again, it's like the arcade, except for I find it I actually find it a little slightly less useful and more useful at the same time than the arcade. It's almost at the same level as the arcade, except for arcade gives you passive business, so I don't know. The 10-car garage is very, very convenient. The jobs can be fun at times, and it's a fun property to spawn. Occasionally these will be okay, and the exotic exports are okay, like side tasks. But in general, I'd say probably just buy this like fairly last as one of the last businesses you buy, unless the double money week is on the auto shop stuff like it was a few weeks ago. Then buy the auto shop, grind some of this stuff out. Yeah, so in that case, getting into that. So plus, just know most of your money's in the upgrades is going to go to the staff in this car lift, which is probably not worth getting unless the double money, of course. So when should you buy the auto shop in that case? You're probably asking Hectic, if you think that it's that bad, should I avoid it at all costs, or should I just buy it not as soon? I say just not buy it as soon. Definitely as one of the last ones, I would say after the nightclub, I would think. Probably after the arcade. You could probably get away with this as buying one of the last, and definitely before the Fort Zancudo hangar, as far as business aspect goes. Yes. Property-wise, I would rather you probably store planes than probably buy an auto shop, but still probably buy an auto shop before that. Definitely get it before a casino penthouse. Don't get it before a Kasaka. Don't get it before Terabyte, or maybe an MLC or Avenger. You should probably do that before that, but and I would probably get these after. Quite honestly, I would get them after MC businesses. Even though MC businesses suck, I'd still get the auto shop afterwards. Yeah. So save this as one of the last ones to get. It's definitely a really cool one, and unless if you're actually going to commit to those contracts, or for some odd reason you want to keep doing these sales when they're not double money, or exotic exports, if you want to really commit to those, okay, yeah, valid argument. But I would say unless you like, and I mean by like commit to them, like you do those multiple times a day, every single day, that type of committing to really make the auto shop that much worth it. Aside from that, probably stay away from it for a little bit. Yes, definitely buy it. It's going to be more useful than a few things than you can buy in GTA Online. But that's all that I have. Let me know what you think of the auto shop in GTA Online. Have you bought this first for some reason? The money making methods are okay. What is your opinion? I'd like to know in the comments down below. Consider subscribing to this channel if we reach 500 subs. Mic reveal. I'll reveal my microphone. Yes, if I did say in another video that I was going to do this at 300, no, it's 500 subs. I'll reveal what mic I'm using to record these videos. Yes, so a little goal for you. And drop this video a like if you did like. My name is Hectic. I'll see you guys in the next one.